Hey guys, welcome back to Designer Savvy, and if you're new, my name's Nancy and welcome. So glad you stopped by. Today I'm going to show you a neat project that I did with my bookshelves. I chalk painted them on the outside, left the inside the brown color, but knew I wanted to lighten and brighten. So what I ended up doing is I found this amazing pre-pasted washable paintable wallpaper by Scott Living. I love the pattern. It is exactly what I had in mind. As you can see, it has a look of beautiful embossed tin. It's a thick paper, it's pretty easy to work with, and the pattern is very forgiving, and it's awesome at covering wall blemishes. Here you can see the pattern rolled out. I just fell in love with it. Here's the bookshelves before I got started. As you can see, it kind of looks like a black hole back in there. So we've got to do something about that. Oh, I'm so excited to be doing this project. First things, clear off the shelf and wipe them down with water. I like to save large pieces of cardboard for projects like this. It protects the floor from damage. The tools you'll need for this project are wallpaper and instructions, smoothing tool, wet cloth, level, scissors, blade, pencil, and tape measure. Here I'm holding the paper up to the shelf to see how much I need in length, then marking it with a pencil. Now I'm preparing to make my first cut. The paper is kind of thick, so be sure that you have a very sharp blade when cutting and add extra inches for pattern repeat matching on subsequent strips that you cut. I'm using the first cut as a template for the second cut so I don't have to continually measure. I know that all the shelves are the same length and width. Continue this process for the number of shelves that you have. Now it's time to whittle that paper down a little bit more and tweak it to fit the space. Remember to always measure at least twice so you only have to cut once. Here's what it will look like. So put it back inside the shelf one more time for one final adjustment before cutting. Now for the fun part. This is where precision matters. You need a steady hand and you need to be working on a flat surface. And if your blade isn't sharp enough, you may need to cut another strip. It works best with this thicker embossed paper to cut from the back side. We've just completed our first cut and here's what it looks like. Now we're ready to go. Our next step is to submerge our rolled wallpaper in cold water for 5 seconds. To do this, you can use a wallpaper tray, a sink, a bathtub. Just make sure what you're using is clean and roll your wallpaper with the front side facing out and the brown pasted side facing in. Grab the top middle of the wallpaper, grab below the edge of the paper and gently pull from the water. Do not touch the corners because you don't want to remove any wallpaper paste. This wallpaper paste needs 5 minutes to activate before placing on the bookshelf. We're ready to lay our first strip, and it doesn't matter where you begin in this situation. So I'm just going to start in the middle and then do the bottom and then do the top. Align the corners and edges first. Gently smooth with your hand to feel for air bubbles. Use the smoothing tool to remove any of those air bubbles. It's as easy as that, and here's our first strip completed. I chose to accessorize after completing each shelf. Talk about bang for the buck. This project cost less than $20, and the wallpaper came from my local Lowe's home improvement store. As much as I love paint, I certainly wouldn't have had the same outcome with paint. It would have had a completely different look and effect. The white wallpaper really makes a significant difference with my black accessories. I'm now ready to start on the top shelf. Again, it's the same process. Wipe it clean and get that paper ready to go. Another tip that I have for you is that you cannot rush your wallpapering project. Another tip I want to give you is don't apply too much pressure when you are using that wallpaper smoothing tool because you don't want to force an excess amount of wallpaper paste out from under the edges of the wallpaper. It's best to work from the middle out when smoothing out the bubbles and wipe up any excess paste. I really like the way this looks so far. I do have one more piece to do, and it's a little piece of wood above that top area that I've already papered, and you can see it there. And now on to accessorizing. Another tip I have for you is to take pictures of your shelving before you remove your accessories. So once you're through papering, you know exactly how things need to go back on there, and it'll certainly save you a lot of time. If you take the pictures before you get started, you are less likely to forget. One down and one to go. Here's the reveal of this bookshelf. So here we are on the second bookshelf. The process is identical. You're almost always going to get some wrinkles when you are applying wallpaper. It's very easy to correct. You simply lift that corner of paper and you reposition. Again, I'm adding my accessories back in as I complete each wallpaper shelf. You can do it however you want. You can just wallpaper the whole unit first and accessorize at the very end and do it all at once. But I just chose to do it this way because I really want to see what the finished result would look like and have a finished shelf to compare to the shelves that are still left undone. I'm almost through with this unit and I really couldn't be more happy with it. It didn't take much time at all. It's easy to do. It was great on the budget. Guys, this is an amazing reed diffuser called Damask Rose from Pottery Barn. You'll have to get one. It was a gift from my daughter and son-in-law. It smells amazing. So we're finishing up with our last little bit of accessorizing, and I am ready to show you the reveal of my second bookcase. Here's a close-up of the first one more time. The second one with the display light on and a before and after. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button. And if you're new, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you join the Designer Savvy YouTube family. See you in the next one.